Hello, welcome once again to Cityscope. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson. Cityscope is a show that really focuses on what cities can do and what they're doing and how that can be implemented all over the state. Today we have a really special program. We're talking about music. Welcome, Justin and Eric, coming in to talk about your transferring to Charleston and music and all kinds of good stuff. So we're going to jump right in. Thank you for coming and talking with me about some of these things. First, you're both from Beckley.
Right.
And just as recently as today, I hear?
Last night
You're now a Charlestonian.
Officially.
And so that's the thing, important place to start is why did you come to Charleston, Justin?
Well, I ran a guitar shop in Beckley for a long time, and my wife and I were both musicians, played in the band together, and we always had the dream of, hey, let's open up our own guitar shop, you know. Right. And then one day about, 10 years ago, I had one of my big reps for a company I was dealing with. He told me, he said, you know what, Charleston is missing a downtown guitar shop right now. He's like, you know, they had them years ago, but times change, and you know. So he said, why don't you one day make a guitar shop in downtown Charleston? 10 years ago, and that stuck with me. I always told her, you know, that's my goal. I was like, you know, let's aim for it and let's see what happens. And we were both like, you know, we're not getting any younger. Might as well make it happen. And Charleston's the place we wanted to be just because of the growing music scene, the growing arts scene, and the so much, community feel up here where everyone works together. And I noticed that literally my first day opening my shop in Charleston, I was featured on the news that night for just, you know, having a small business. And I'm like, this is what I was looking for, you know? So I just immediately felt like I was part of the community.
Yeah, what was your, you've kind of explained it in some regard.
Yeah.
Your first impression, once you made a decision to come here, what was that first memory? Like, oh wow, this is Charleston.
Well, there was stuff to do. There's people around, and there's all kinds of just acceptance of all the arts and the music, which is what, you know, not only are we into music, my wife is a fantastic artist, so she was just happy to be in a community that pushed that forward, and we just noticed that from right away that we were just kind of accepted, and it just felt like this is home, you know.
Yeah, Aaron?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've always found the energy of Charleston. Since I was a kid, you know, you come from wherever you were from, in West Virginia, in Charleston or Huntington, you know, you go to these places to experience live concerts or the circus or whatever it may be when you're a kid. So having those memories was always something just kind of ingrained in me to begin with.
Right.
So I've always loved just the energy of a city. A larger city where there is a movement going on and there's other influences and other arts going on that just kind of impact you in a positive way and kind of push you forward. So Charleston was just that place for me, you know. And also Justin, you know, when he came up here, it influenced my decision because there was always a part of me that wanted to move to a big metropolis area like Nashville or LA or something. And for a while I've grappled with that. But after the pandemic and everything got shook up, I decided to move back here to Charleston and kind of be part of this growing music scene that's part of my home state. And my love for West Virginia and Appalachia has just grown over the last few years, doing work in film and going to other parts of the state and meeting people. And so my mind's just kind of been open to the possibilities West Virginia has going for it. And just all the great energy and vibes going on right here at Charleston.
Well, I agree, of course. I think that one of the things that we 10 years ago even didn't have a whole lot for young people to do. And one of the things that's, I think, for me, one of the biggest impacts City Center Live has had, we're getting ready to start talking about before I even talked about it, is that it's open to young people. Where a lot of previous to City Center at Slack Plaza, there wasn't venues where kids could go to under 18. Most of the time, you guys were playing. People were playing in bars, the occasional coffee shop, but bars. And so we're with the City Center Live, we're allowing people or letting folks of all ages come in and experience it, so they can have their own memories and their own influences when they're growing older, making decisions to stay here or come back here. We're seeing things happen around the city. We were just talking about before we went on air. Even some of the bookings at the Coliseum that are showing us young people are getting interested in what's happening over there. So that's good too.
Right.
So let's talk about City Center Live. How did it start? And for those people who are listening or watching that maybe not know what it is too. So how did it start?
I've had my guitar shop for 4 years now, and we got reached out to by Brian Cooper from Arts Amplified. And he's a good friend of mine, and we had this idea. He told me he had this idea of wanting to start booking music downtown. And he's like, I know you're obviously a musician, you know musicians. And at that time, we had just started doing an open mic night at our shop, Folklore Music Exchange over in Quarrier. And so he said, he approached me. He's like, hey, I want to start doing kind of this thing, like you said, to bring young people out. It's a stage that is open for anyone. And it's not late night. It's not just, there's not age restricted. So, we started doing open mic nights. We actually started last year. We did a few out there, and they were great. We had a great time. People really responded well. And then so this year he reached out to me again, and we decided, we're going to do, I think we're doing 7 of them total for the summer. Wow. So it's every other Thursday we're doing that. But on top of that, they're doing stuff every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. They've got some kind of just music or art or dancing or anything just to bring people out and just showcase the talent.
They had yoga the other day over there. So
exactly,
I think that's a regular thing as well.
It's wonderful.
In terms of performing at Slack Plaza, do you see that difference in terms of versus having the late nights and things like that?
I personally prefer the late nights are rough. The older you get, the harder it is to get home at 3 a.m. carry a BA system. So the fact that you can tell there's a change happening nowadays. You can really see it that people are wanting to come out earlier for shows and music, and they're wanting to be able to get home earlier. It's just it's the change that's happening, and I personally am all about that. Any chance I can get to see a show at 7 o'clock and be home by 10, that's amazing for me.
Right.
So I can see that's really been a big thing that's really taken off for us.
And we've seen, we have, obviously we partner with other cities and work with them. We're seeing this happen in other cities as well. We are seeing downtown green spaces being transformed. Huntington's working on the same kind of thing. They're developing art districts and things like that. And
awesome.
You're seeing it kind of pop up all over the state. But I think the synergy has to be there. And so I want to talk briefly before we break about how you guys met and the music you guys play together.
Yeah. Eric, take this one.
All right. Yeah, so let's see. I can't remember the very first time me and Justin actually met. But we had a lot of mutual friends. Our current drummer, I was in a high school band with him, and then he met Justin separate from me, and they were in a band for years, and me and Justin didn't know each other. So lots of overlap between people that we know in the music community. But I remember specifically having a show in Summersville, West Virginia, in this little basement of a community center, very short ceiling, one of those things. Yeah. But we were just having a blast, and one of my bands was playing, and Justin was on stage, and I heard him sound checking, and he had this ethereal guitar sound going. And I was like, I've been looking for this guitar player for so long. So we struck up a conversation and started kind of jamming together, and just quickly became friends, and that led to just hanging and playing music together, and then the band kind of formed from those experiences.
And that was, what year was that? When you guys actually finally formed the band?
Was it 2013?
It's been 10 years.
2013 officially. I think
Yeah.
a little bit before that, we were playing around a little bit as a duo. But
Yeah. 10 years together in our band, the Parachute Brigade.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the band's name yet. That's
We got you.
kind of important yet. Right. I was going to mention it, and it's like, wait, I don't think I said that yet. And so you had a pretty big concert here just maybe a couple years ago. You played Mountain Stage.
That was when we started our band in 2013. We looked at each other, and that was our goal. We said, hey, we want one day to play Mountain Stage. We didn't know when, how long, if it would even happen. And then sure enough, in 2018, we got the call. And it was everything we had hoped for.
Yeah, it was a big deal whenever they have local bands on, it's a big deal. And being in the audience that night live, the overwhelming support you had.
Oh, it was crazy.
We had some pretty big names on that show, but then when you guys came out, it was like the place erupted. It had to feel good, right?
Oh, it was very nice. Yes.
Well, I think what I'd like to do is take a short break and come back and have you guys play some music.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
When we come back, we're going to hear more from Parachute Brigade and some live music.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back to Cityscope. We're here talking with Eric and Justin from Parachute Brigade. We're going to play some music now for us. Before we start, if you could tell us a little bit about each song and how it came to be, so folks listening in or watching in can learn more about your music.
Yeah, for sure. This first one we're going to play is a newer song for our band. It's called Blue Hour, and I wrote it during a time of just actually moving away from West Virginia and longing for just family and friends and music and art being back during the pandemic. So that's kind of what this song's about. It's about longing for the things that you once had. You can use that however you want to as a listener. But wrote this in Roanoke, Virginia, about coming back home. So this song's called Blue Hour.
Awesome.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, can you hear me now? Fading through the wires, free falling in the atmosphere, the lightning and the fires. I keep you behind my eyes, half moon on a cloudy night. You made for the sunlight, I drove all night believing. In the blue hour, don't you fake a smile. In the blue hour, we can only stay a while. Yeah, in the blue hour. They told me I'd sail the sea. I heard you've been flying, face down on some famous beach, pretty people crying. I keep you behind my eyes, half moon on a cloudy night. I won't stand in line to give it all a meaning. Yeah, in the blue hour. No, don't you fake a smile. In the blue hour, we can only stay a while. Yeah, in the blue hour. Oh, don't you fake a smile. I was chained to all the love I've seen. I'd be free for you. Black and white and overcast, it's all turning blue. Chained to all the love I've seen, I'd be free for you. Black and white and overcast, it's all turning blue. Chained to all the love I've seen, I'd be free for you. Black and white and overcast, it's all turning blue. Chained to all the love I've seen, I'd be free for you. Black and white and overcast, it's all turning blue. chained to all the love I've seen, I'd be free for you.
Awesome. Great stuff, guys. You said earlier in the interview, you were talking about playing together, just the two of you at first.
Yeah.
How long did that go on? Like, did you a couple years?
Oh, no, it was like 2 shows.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It was like
right,
2
right.
shows.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you can see the chemistry there and the natural with you guys, just so natural playing together like that. And so, what are we going to hear next?
This next one is a song called "Carry You Along."
Okay.
It was off our EP, the Gold EP.
Okay.
But this is a more acoustic version. Kind of when we originally wrote it, it had a little bit of a different sound. So
This is a reimagining of sorts.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found a love like yours on the eastern shore, but that old dress you wore I can't forget. Seasons come and go. Yeah, that tide is gonna rise and fall. Let it carry you along. Yes, I let it carry you along. And I'll carry you alone. You were in the kitchen, your hands were in the dishes on tiptoes. Where does the time go? I don't wanna know. And you could never sleep if I was not there right beside you. I know you tried to, and I know that I lied. Seasons come and go. Yeah, that tide is gonna rise and fall. Oh, I let it carry you along. Yes, I let it carry you along. Yeah, I let it carry you along. Yes, I let it carry, and I'll carry you alone.
Great. Thank you so much for coming and doing this. Wish we could play all day. We got a couple more songs. What are we going to hear next?
our next one is a new song. It's called "I Don't Mind," and yeah, that similar feeling of going to a large show or going to a city and feeling that energy. This song I wrote while I was in New York, feeling those feelings, and I was just thinking about Charleston, and I was thinking about home, and I wanted to write a song almost as a declaration, and to putting everything into what we love to do as artists,
Right.
and going for it. So this song's called "I Don't Mind."
That broke in the city. Take time, take it with me. Time is money, I can't afford the bill. Fake smile, a congregation, golden plates, conversations, a big rock, a hard place to be. Never thought we'd leave. And I'll rearrange the hurt inside of me. The golden age is just outside our reach. Can you feel it coming? Baby, why you running tonight? We're a shot in the dark, my dear, I don't mind. Found a map, a gatekeeper, broke hearts, light sleeper. We can run, or we can head for home. No, I won't leave you on your own. And I'll rearrange the hurt inside of me. The golden age is just outside our reach. Can you feel it coming? Baby, why you running tonight? We're a shot in the dark, my dear, I don't mind. I don't mind. Can you feel it coming? Baby, why you running tonight? We're a shot in the dark, my dear, I don't mind. Can you feel it coming? Baby, why you running tonight? We're a shot in the dark, my dear, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Thank you so much
We've
for
never
playing.
done them like this before. These are very loud rock songs.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting setting to be
Yeah.
to kind of do this in this way, I guess is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. We are going to do one more song, but before we're going to kind of close out with this one. So I want to thank you both for coming in, talking about what you do, and the many things that you do for Charleston, and coming in and being part of our community. Thank you so much for that as well.
Happy to be
And
here.
thank you for watching Cityscope. I hope you check out City Center Live, check out the website, and we'll see you next time.
Another night, chasing the thrill, just a run of the mill. How are you these days? How are you? Between the golden lights and the exit signs, Can you feel the silence holding down another light? Shake it, come on baby, shake it like I know you can. Shake it, we don't have to try to understand. Oh, 'cause time could leave us here with nothing. Hold the door and I'll come running. I'll come running. You pass cliches, your car drives away, move to another state. Where have you been? And who are you now? Between the golden lights and the exit signs, guess you never know what's coming for you further down the line. Yeah, you never know what's coming for you further down the line. Shake it, well, come on baby, shake it like I know you can. Shake it, we don't have to try to understand. Oh, 'cause time could leave us here with nothing. Oh, the door and I'll come running. I'll come running for you further down the line. Further down the line. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you'll never know. Yes, you never know, you never know. Shake, come on baby, shake it like I know you can. Shake it, we don't have to try to understand. Oh, 'cause time could leave us here with nothing.